Hello, welcome to the Daily Loop. Let's get into it. Transfer bids. Catania again, 4 million. I think we just pass. We'd like to sell this player, but we don't have enough under 21 keepers. Trial us next. That's the tackling. It comes out decent, so we'll wait for the speed, I think. Mm, 34, it's okay. So at this point, it's positioning, which doesn't really matter, and then dribbling, which matters quite a bit. So you could be waiting for the dribbling. And this guy, determination 51. Waiting for the strength, which makes sense. This guy finishing 60. I mean, this guy's looking like he could be a real monster of a box-to-box midfielder right now with that finishing, that passing, that vision, that tackling. He can be really let down with some stuff still, but yeah, and not the endurance right away, but like we say, even a career backup. I mean, it's a weird combination because I think he could start, be right down to 80 or below, and then get back up a bit, sort of be subbed off around the 60-minute mark every match, something like that as well. Still a lot needs to unfold for him to be good, but yeah. Pretty low marking. Waiting for the passing for this guy. I think of all the players, this is probably the one that's the most relinquishable. Yeah, I think I'd rather give him up than the other two MCs. I think next potentially would then be well, let's see if we need to give two. We want to bring more than one in anyway, so just 2 speed. I think just real low stuff, don't use AMR. I think the tackling is good. He has got 60 speed, 57 tackling. So he's not good for the deep line playmaker role, but he could be awesome for like a destroyer type role. And he come off the bench and be the destroyer to potentially like help close. It could be a thing. So we could bring this guy in. I think I definitely would rather have him than this MC. Let's just do that for now and just see if there's anybody else we want to bring in. The tackling is up next, but just a lot of low stuff. Just, you're not going to bother. This guy, 60 tackling, 54 determination. Alright, so he's only got 1 strength. The passing is next. And he's got 56 composure. He's got some really good stuff as well. And the speed will be coming up. The area, yeah. Maybe we could bring this guy in. We don't really need a DC though. The marking and positioning isn't great, but with the 60 tackling, I guess we'd be looking for him more of a role where he's not sitting back marking anyway, more stepping up to make the tackle, so more of a stopper role. Think about that one. This guy, he's got good speed and strength, bad passing, good flair. So yeah, maybe if we were using an AMR that could make sense, but we're not. Right, if we're going to put a DC, we'll put the other guy in. Don't use the R, don't use AML, don't use AMR. Not sure we need another keeper to be honest, but I think just a really low handling parrying. He has got the high agility, but 8 determination as well. I think we'll just pass on him. Don't use AML, and don't use AML, and so 59 passing, another low endurance. It's also got low determination, high flair, high dribbling. What's coming up next? Composure, movement, finishing, control. So maybe if we needed someone, we could bring him in for sure. And then this guy, yeah. So there's a question of this DC and this guy. I think in particular this guy, the problem is that I guess if the, yeah. Well, yeah. There's some issues here. So one, I think, is just that the tackling isn't even on the map at all. But that does mean that if the finishing composure isn't great, then we could just dismiss them. We're onboarding a lot of like low endurance players, which isn't great. It's okay to have the odd one, but we've got a lot of them. I think I'd rather go with this guy. I think this guy, so the aerial ability matters, the determination matters quite a bit, and I guess the marking it's not immaterial. It's quite decently big deal as well. So some key attributes coming up. I'm happy to have him in. This guy I'm happy to have. This guy, the strength matters quite a bit. He's got really low control, but low aerial ability. But see, so he's got key stuff. The composure kind of matters a bit. The finishing is miles off. This is a problem, to be honest. So we could take him out. This guy, the speed was revealed and it's not that high. And again, the finishing is miles off, but he does have established high passing, high vision, high strength, high flair. I feel like there's places this player could end up potentially if he can. Even if he's just decent finishing and decent tackling, he could end up being a box-to-box MC. We could add a position. There's options there. This guy, I mean, this guy is probably the one where I'm really not sure at this point, because we would have to add a position because we don't use MC. He's only got one aerial ability. I think this guy we could, I don't know. He's got good stuff, but he would need to have a high speed, high dribbling, high finishing. Yeah, what? So I think the issue with this is that, like, the vision, the endurance, the agility, we don't find out enough to be able to dismiss him in the near-term future. We're waiting at least until the speed, and then the determination, then the dribbling. So we're waiting a while. I think that's an issue. Plus we have to add a position with him anyway. So I'm inclined to take him out and put in this DC, where we can potentially eliminate him much faster. Was the other player was this MC as well. So I think the issue with this MC is that it's quite a while until we can find something out to eliminate him. Well, it's, yeah, because even the finishing doesn't necessarily, yeah. So I think I'd rather go with a DC, even though we don't really need one, but just because, again, it's just this idea that we can just eliminate people faster, bring other people in. So speed is a key one, that's great, and passing, and then speed, so the key stuff. This guy, positioning, and then dribbling. These guys are a bit different because he's quite well rounded already. Speed not great, but it's okay for what we need. This guy, strength key, composure, passing. The finishing is some ways off. and the reality is we wouldn't be able to take him we probably can just dismiss this guy, to be honest, because I feel like we already know, for example, that his control's super low and he's not lightning fast and he's bad in the air. So I feel like this guy we can just dismiss for this MC. And then I think the question is, do we want that MC or do we want this guy back? Yeah, just waiting too long for that guy, I feel. Not sure. He does have some really good stuff. This is the thing. Why don't we? And we do have other MCs. I think this guy. I'll put the AMR back in. So here we go. We'll go with these guys. Now onto the scouted players. Pretty solid, but again, just don't really need keepers. Don't use DL. Oh, these guys are too old. Oh, 84 tackling though, but yeah, too old. Don't use DR, but he's pretty nice. Don't use DML. Don't use. Guy's sort of okay, but we just need better passing vision for the deep line playmaker. This guy was pretty nicely well-rounded, but yeah, a bit old for us, but he's cheap and whatever. Right, and then into the auctions. Yeah. This guy's kind of interesting. I think just the finishing, yeah, it's not quite good enough, but I don't think we'd seen him before. I mean, for what we need, we're still looking for AMC basically. This guy's still around, so we probably could get him for the 8 million, that 8.697 million. This guy's pretty interesting, but I think as we got to, he's not. It's probably not an upgrade over what we got anyway, even though the guy we got is a bit older. The best time to get these players is going to be at the start of the season, though, which is when we weren't looking, just because of all the contracts that are expiring and people pick those players up and sell other players. So it's better to be doing this earlier in the season, but we still might pick something up. Yeah, these guys are a bit old now. Could be this guy, but again, he's just, I don't know. When you compare these guys to who was it? This guy. I mean, the thing is that 90 speed is such a big deal as well. Alright. Let's go to the training. It's probably this one. Is this a guy? I'm not even sure if. I don't even think he's selected in the team at the moment. Yeah, don't think he's. But maybe it's this option anyway, because it's 3 tackling, 3 passing. 3, yeah, it's probably just this one anyway. Right. Garrido, looks like it's just going to be this one. Catania. Still developing quite nice. Natural fitness, strength, composure, flare, control. I think it's going to be this one. Three speed, 2 determination, 1 flare, 3 dribbling, 1 finishing. It's probably this one. Gueva, tackling. Not 100% sure. Tackling and the positioning doesn't really matter. The movement matters a bit. Probably just want these extra attribute points because we're looking to sell him. And then this guy, guess that's just this one. Right, so yeah, we're done. Yeah, it's weird. We had a few days in a row where there was quite a few interesting players. But today, not the case. So much shorter. Cheers. Thanks for watching. We got some matches to play today, so that'll be interesting. So yeah, catch you for those.